Gracia is in a hurry because she has dropped her shield. Oh, what have you done? Gracia finally notices something wrong with her left arm holding the shield. Although it is not fatal because of the automatic recovery, this is a serious situation. But it was too late, and the shield was finally released from her hand by Geld's subsequent attack. Gracia has lived for a long time and is experienced in warfare. In terms of level, Gracia was not defeated by Geld. However, there was something missing. That is the experience of fighting among the same ranks. It is a common problem among the long-lived species that they do not have an opponent after they become strong. Even if they are the most skilled ones like D, they are still inexperienced and can overwhelm their enemies only by their physical performance, so their growth rate is low. It was not easy to experience a battle against a superior opponent. There are only a few opponents whom we cannot beat, and to begin with, they do not fight against those whom they should be wary of. Therefore, there was never a situation in which they had to fight a hard battle, and they usually ran away if they had to do so. On the other hand, Geld never backed down. If he had to fight, he did not run away from any opponent. He has never missed a training session, and he is so serious that he trains for combat, instead of doing preparatory exercises while working at the construction site. On his days off, he is under the tutelage of Ajera and Hakura. Although he does not stand out among the 12 Protector Kings, Geld's level has reached the realm of the very best, as he is always training. Although his offensive skills are not yet up to par, his defensive skills are unparalleled. He had mastered all the techniques that seem to be useful, such as the technique of inflicting damage on the enemy while defending, or the technique of accumulating damage, without letting the enemy know the main purpose of the attack, as he had just shown against Gracia. Because of this, Geld had mastered all the techniques that seemed to be useful. Geld makes a big move against Gracia, who has lost her shield. Cow slash. Geld's meat cleaver, clad in a hideous haki, swung down at Gracia. Tisk. Gracia jumps back in panic. Geld's movement was large and seemed to be full of gaps. Even Gracia, who had lost her shield, seemed to be able to hit Geld. That is why Gracia did not let her guard down. Gracia saw that the strike was a powerful blow, but it was definitely a trap to lure the enemy. If they try to take advantage of Geld's opening and attack him carelessly, they will be cut down with a single stroke of the sword, she thought. But no. Geld's target was the shield that Gracia had taken down. Geld swallowed the shield and predated. The ultimate gift Gourmet King Beelzebub can transform the swallowed substance into energy. Since Gracia's circle shield was created by Vega, its resistance is lower than that of natural mythical grade shields. Therefore, the absorption is fast, and Geld completes the predation without any problem. Geld has successfully captured its power. Geld's scale shield shines. The shield, which is a part of Geld, has also gained performance because of Geld's enhancement. Oh, no way, can it reach inorganic materials? No, if it has reached mythical grade, it is natural that it has a will. The origin of this shield seems to be a fake created by someone else, but that's none of my business. Geld explains in a matter-of-fact way. He was not proud of his victory, but his words were significant. Geld meant that organic or inorganic matter could be predated without distinction. And even if the subject has a will, if it fails to resist, it will be eaten. The cold sweat dripped down from Gracia's forehead. She realizes that she has lost her balance. At this point, Gracia's defensive power had decreased drastically, and the gap between her and Geld's existence value had narrowed. And as she had been hit by the sword as well. A moment of silence. As if to break the silence, Gracia opens her mouth. Well, I guess I lost. She says this and smiles a bright smile. Geld is puzzled but remains defensive. He still does not fully trust Gracia, although he thinks she is not bluffing. Gracia laughs at Geld. Okay. I've always wanted to experience coming back to life in this labyrinth, so give me a clean slate. When she said that, Geld had no choice but to believe her. Are you sure I've won? Then there is no need for further fighting. Geld puts away his weapon. He does not like to whip the loser, so he settles the matter now. Well, you're a warrior. I've been defeated. With a wry smile, Gracia accepted her defeat gracefully. Okay. The winner is Geld. Ramrus declared victory, and Geld and Gracia left the venue. Finally, it was Dino's turn, which Ramrus had been waiting for. Ramrus's voice echoes in the Colosseum. Come on Dino, come out. I haven't forgotten what you did to me last time. It's my turn to beat you to a pulp. Ramrus was bent on revenge. As shown by the fact that she gave Dino 5 resurrection bracelets, she intends to kill Dino 5 times. She made a series of comments that seemed to be nothing but her personal desire, as if she had lost her mind about the true purpose of the project. Dino, on the other hand, looked relaxed. Ramrus. I've noticed. What? I'm out. I'm gonna take the next fight. Of course, it's a no-go. Dino made a foolish suggestion, but Ramrus unceremoniously rejected it. She was surprised at Dino's shamelessness in making the proposal because it was an unforgivable proposal. Damn. I'm surprised that you could take my brilliant idea so easily, but hey, I have another idea. He grumbles inwardly, but there is nothing he can do. The enemies are Beretta and Zijin. To tell the truth, Dino is no match for them. Dino does not hesitate to show his best strategy. I lose. I hereby declare defeat. Dino declared his defeat without even fighting. This was the strategy he came up with after seeing Gracia's defeat. He thought it would be better to lose quickly without fighting a hard battle. Gracia comes back to Dino's place and mutters quietly. Geld has become so strong. He looks like a different person from when we fought before. What? Did you really lose? What are you talking about? She lost because she lost her shield. Gracia is astonished. Did you think it was just an act? By the way, I was serious too. Pico also declared herself. Mai nodded her head secretly, and it was confirmed that the situation in which all the players were defeated was quite serious. At this point, Dino, with a smug look on his face, asks, "You guys have enough strength to escape, don't you?" "Of course we do. Of course. It would be suicide to be so exhausted that you can't move." Gracia and Pico are nodding their heads at each other. Mai, who is a very serious person, advises them here. "I think it's useless to declare defeat. Because you have a grudge against them, don't you? Why don't you just apologize to them and say you're sorry?" It was a surprisingly good argument. Dino was at a loss for words and could only nod his head and say, "Oh, yes, I guess so." But it was too late for that decision. What are you talking about so naively? I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to see your crying face. Rammus's selfishness exploded, and Dino was forced to fight. If he had apologized a little earlier, Rammus might have changed her mind. But that was a hypothetical situation, and Dino's chance to try it had passed. With a dead-eyed look, Dino turned his attention to Beretta and Zijin. "There is no way I can win," he thought hopelessly. But then a small question occurred to me. What is it? Was Zijin's magic heal volume that small? It was a strange feeling that he could feel only because he had fought with Dino once. The sense of coercion that he felt from Zijin seemed to be a little weak. But Dino had no time to worry about such questions. The moment of destiny that he had been trying to postpone was about to begin. Rammus called out to Beretta. "Beretta-chan, you can lose, but only after you make Dino suffer." You must be joking. If you lose many times, you will get a habit of losing. I'll win this time." Hearing this, Dino gets depressed. "Damn it, Vega. Hurry up, I don't care if we don't make it in time." They guess it's not Vega but Dino who is in trouble if they don't make it on time. Dino let out a big sigh, and he looked unwilling to do anything. Beretta was also getting stronger. As Gracia said, her presence had grown surprisingly strong in a short time. In Dino's view, she was still the stronger of the two. But that was only if he did not have any troublesome authority. And with Zijin on the other side, it would be meaningless just to beat Beretta. Thinking that it was over, Dino headed for Colosseum. He faced Beretta. Dino is relieved that Zijin did not come out. They stare at each other for a while. Then, let's get started. Rammus shouted happily, and the battle began. Unlike Pico and Gracia, Dino is not so fond of fighting. Rather, he dislikes it because it is troublesome. Dino was not allowed to abstain, but he was going to lose while pretending that he was doing his best. However, that was not the case. He thought he lightly avoided Beretta's fist, but her arm ignored the structure and shot at Dino. It undulated like a snake, extending and contracting at will, and even splitting apart. It was no longer a punch, but a powerful, intentional messenger. Ignoring its appearance. I mean, it's not the same thing as before. Gracia is right. Dino agrees. He had heard that Beretta was a magic form created by a demon, possessing a magisteel doll made by Rimuru. However, it has now been completely assimilated, and its movements are so smooth that one does not feel the hardness of the steel. In a moment of attack and defense, Dino saw through Beretta's danger. Although her presence increased, her appearance did not change, but when they started to fight, the difference was obvious. In an instant, he discarded the naive idea that he could defeat Beretta at any moment. It would have been easy to beat her before, but it was impossible now. It seemed to him that even if Dino was serious, it would be difficult to beat her. I mean, she has grown too much in such a short period of time. Kumara and Geld's growth was extraordinary, but Apito and Beretta's growth was even greater. Apito, for example, seems to have grown stronger in the process of fighting against Mai, and it is common knowledge that Rimuru's subordinates will hurt you if you underestimate them. However, Dino does not take disrespect to his opponents. On the contrary, I respect him, so please don't bully me anymore. Thinking such a thing, Dino runs away from Beretta. Beretta's fist hits the ground. It looks soft, but it is actually a massive hurricane. She has no weapon, but that's because she doesn't need one. Beretta's fist is harder than a bad hammer. Their power was beyond comparison. Beretta did not seem to be using any mysterious power, but she was a troublesome enough opponent even for a mere combat fight. For Dino, who had been wary of Sijin only, Beretta's growth was unexpected. And yet, Beretta was not the only enemy. There was still Sijin, an absolute powerhouse, standing behind them. Dino is at a loss for what to do, and he is tempted to bemoan the impermanence of the world, wondering why he is in this predicament. However, he will bide time, running away from the situation as much as possible so as not to feel any pain. This was the best solution that Dino, who had given up trying to beat Beretta, could have come up with. And yet, Dino's feet turned into a swamp. Oh, no. By the time Dino realized this, it was too late, and his feet were caught in the ground. He is knee-deep in the ground, but that is not the end of it. The ground transformed into fluid metal and further engulfed Dino. It was now difficult to escape by force. The metallic mud became a fetter, holding Dino captive. The more he struggled, the more Dino's lower body was buried deep in the ground. Moreover, the ground hardened like steel so that Dino could not escape. It was the liquefaction and hardening of the ground by Beretta's combined technique of mineral domination and geomanipulation. Dino gave up instantly. Beretta had been the guardian of Rimuru, and had once controlled the dungeon's elite 10. Moreover, she used to be a greater demon who used to be a servant of Black, and she was not weak. However, Dino did not expect that he would be beaten so easily. Hey, you didn't have this kind of power when I was in the labyrinth. He has given up on the idea of escape, so he is very determined as if he has nothing more to lose. They did not have this kind of power when they fought before. This means that she has gained this power in a short period of time before the rematch with Dino. I thought it was a lie, but I had to admit the reality. Beretta coldly told Dino, who was thinking in such a carefree way. Is that so? But I can use it now. Dino was about to say, of course you can, but he didn't say it aloud. As soon as Beretta said that, she exercised her power and pierced Dino's body with a metal spear. Dino's consciousness was darkened by this, and Beretta's victory was assured. When Dino regains consciousness, he hears Rimurus's happy voice. Yes, Beretta-chan has won. It seems that he had only been unconscious for a moment. Oh, I wish this was the end. Rimurus's resurrection bracelet was effective, but Dino was not so happy. There were only 4 resurrection bracelets left. That is, Rimurus would not be satisfied if Dino was not killed 4 more times. Then, who will be next? They heard a conversation.